Assalamu alaikum. I'm speaking to you from the noble sanctuary in Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, Quds al-Mubarak. This is my first visit ever to Palestine. Never been here before. Been allowed to come. I try to take advantage, like many Palestinian American, Arab American, Muslim Americans, of the Visa Waiver Program. Israel now is going through a trial period to check if it will comply with the American requirements for to be exempted from the visa, from visa to its citizens. From what I have experienced so far, I'll tell you maybe in our case, me and my colleague, we were this time admitted, but we know of several cases where Palestinian American, Arab American, Muslim Americans were prevented from entering into occupied Palestine. Many of them were interrogated, some of them were harassed. In some cases, some of them were strip searched. So what our message is that Israel cannot be selective when it comes to treating American citizens. Israel should have no right in questioning Americans about their political views, about their religious affiliation, about why they're coming to visit. If Israeli citizens are going to be allowed to come into the States, treated with dignity, Americans deserve the same dignity. And why is it relevant? Coming to the Masjid this morning, to the morning prayer, many Palestinian youth were turned away, were sent back by Israeli soldiers. They weren't allowed to come and worship in their own mosque, in their own masjid, in their own city, in their own country. They weren't allowed to come into the masjid. They were sent back. Now, some might say, how is that relevant? How does that affect us as Americans? Let us keep in mind that it is us, the United States, that is enabling this occupation, that is funding this occupation. So it is very important that our policymakers understand that in order for Israel to be accepted and admitted into the Visa Waiver Program, that it's not only that they have to meet the requirements, and to treat Americans in the best and the right way, but also Israel has to end its occupation. Israel has to treat the Palestinians with dignity. We cannot continue, in the case of the Biden administration, to condemn Israel for expanding its settlements, to condemn the Israeli government and call it a government of extremists, while we continue to give it a pass, a green light, to continue to brutalize and to violate the rights of the Palestinian people. It is time that Israel is held accountable. It is time that Israel pays a price for the crimes that it commits. Yes, we came to test how Israel is complying with the requirements and how Israel is treating American citizens, but at the same time, the Palestinians will continue to suffer under this brutal occupation, and they will continue to point fingers at the United States, our country, the country that we love, with the values that we try to convince people that, our politicians don't necessarily speak for us, but they don't see but this foreign policy, this misguided policy, this inhumane policy that is being projected in our name as American citizens. So it is time for the United States, and it is time for our politicians and decision makers to step up and to hold Israel accountable. Let us make sure also that Israel will continue to respect the same requirements and continue to apply, not discriminate and not differentiate between American citizens based on their origin or religion or based on their race or political convictions and views. Let us continue to hold Israel responsible, and I will hope we continue our advocacy for Palestine. Every American citizen, every Palestinian American, every Arab American, every Muslim American, every Jewish American, everyone, people of conscience continue to advocate for justice and continue to advocate for a guided policy that will uphold our values, or at least the values and the values that we claim to hold as American people. So I hope that we continue this advocacy because it's paying off, and we will continue to make sure that Israel understands that it's not going to continue to get a blank check from us, from our tax money. Thank you.